Ooh, cool. Yeah. We love the earth. It is our planet. No, no. We love the earth. It is our home. We love the earth. It is our planet. We love the earth. It is our home. Hi, I'm a baboon. Like a man, just less advanced. I mean, it's huge. I'm a lion cub, and I'm always getting licked. I'm a cow. Moo, you drink milk from my twitty wits. I'm a fat fucking pig. I'm a common frog. I'm a meme and you run, get you around my bow. The song's so good, that too. What's going on with me? I need a picture. Here? Just checking if I'm still rolling. Gotta check if I'm rolling. Gotta check if I'm rolling. Hello, people. Hello there, party people. Let there be dancing in the darkness. Let our song break through the night. Lift your voice and sing that Christ is King, for Jesus is alive. I'm gonna have to go get a picture. Come on. Yeah. The encoding, I know that's a bad thing. I know encoding is bad on this computer. This computer, the encoding is terrible. Let there be dancing in the darkness. Work, please. No, fine. Fine then. Fine then. Fine then. Fuck it. Frick it. Frick it. Finally, killing Cortana. Did anybody ever use Cortana, or is Cortana one of those things? I heard Linus Sebastian talk about it. This is Tech Quickie, so it's one of his channels. But I heard Linus Sebastian talk about it in this way that like made it out to be like as if Cortana was a thing. There's a term for the person who's never going to finish a race, or is going to limp to the end of the race, just like poo-poo itself to the finish line. Like, you know that guy's going to lose. You know that guy's going to get last. It's sad, but that's the truth. And apparently, that's what the Microsoft kind of came out with Cortana. They were like, Cortana. They were like, Microsoft was like, you suck, and you're terrible, and you know you're terrible, and we know you're terrible, and everyone knows you're terrible. So just accept the fact that you're terrible and move on with your life. Well, it'd keep you there, but nobody wants you, which is fair. I don't. I've never used Cortana in my life for anything practical. I used to play a game once that was a movie game that I saw because it was like promoting itself. You know what I mean? Like it was promoting itself. If that makes any sense? You know what I mean? He's just promoting itself. So I'm like, oh, okay. I'm not saying, Cortana was useless. It was almost Bixby was better than Cortana though. Like it was so like, really? Cortana was that bad? And it's like, no, Cortana was horrible. Horrid. No, you know what then I'll just do? Shapes. Oh no, not even close. Again, I'm doing something that I don't want to tell you about yet. Anyway, it's fine. So yeah, like Cortana was bad. Cortana was bad, but only because Cortana didn't do anything super well for anything. It didn't do anything well, whether that was basic tasks, advanced tasks, tasks in your computer. Also, Windows was not something hard where your phone you just want to like say to your phone's assistant, "Do this for me," or say to a speaker, whether that's a Google Home speaker or Amazon Alexa or Apple HomePod. Like it was all just like just can you just do it? Like so, hey speaker, do this please. And they're like, oh yeah, okay, here you go. Because there's no screen or whatever. I don't know. I don't care. I'm just saying like my opinion on that is very much okay. I don't like those speakers, but they work. Like right? At least in my opinion. I don't know. Cortana just sucked. They tried to throw again. They tried to throw phones at you, and nobody wanted to use phone ecosystem. They didn't even have a phone that used it, as far as I know, Cortana. So I was like, okay, well, what the frig, man? I didn't understand it, but that's only because I was not a person who used those very much outside of being a memeable, right, a thing, like a memeable, like just outside of being a meme basically. It was not used for like I never used them like really well. Do this. Now I use them a lot, but as a kid I just did the whole like meme thing that everyone does. Where it's like, "Oh, yeah, it's a meme." I only have 3 stickers left. I'm gonna save these 3 stickers forever. Yeah. Keep it in like a drawer. Let me just put this in a drawer somewhere so I never use them. Yep, I never use them so I don't ever. I never use it. So leave these 3. I should have had 4, but I dumb. I needed to use it. I wanted to use it for something. So you know what? Unless I find some optimal use for those stickers, I'm gonna keep those stickers forever. Or else make photocopies of those stickers. I could do that too. Let it be dancing in the darkness. Let us all pursue the night. Somebody's helping me talk about or helping me like draw portrait. And it's the same thing ever like same thing a lot I've heard from a lot of people. I've heard the same argument from a lot of people. What you do with painting is painting. With art is you have to like it doesn't matter what it is. There's 2 things. One, draw everything, and 2, don't just draw everything. Draw everything, but also draw everything. No, fair enough. That's fine. Draw everything, but also draw everything, and also just like do a lot of like rough sketches. Do a lot of find the like way to get the rough line of something. Cause it's like I'll be right back. I have to go to the bathroom. Okay, I'm back. See, art is one of those things that everybody thinks they can do. Now, look, most people think no, they're not good at it, but they accept the fact that, oh well, I'm not good at it, but I can do it. Like I can produce something that looks decent. You know, you're not gonna get Picasso, but or Da Vinci or Michelangelo, Donatello, Raphael, but you are definitely going to like come out with something decent, usable. And it's like, no, you're not. No, you're not. You're no, you're not. It's like, what? I'm not. This reference in front of me, because like this won't help. This reference is not close enough to me. But yeah, personally, at least in my opinion. Okay. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so personally, in my opinion, at least, you all, because people will realize, oh, okay, it's terrible. Like it's terrible. But for some reason, they think, well, I'm not terrible at it. It's actually pretty good. I'm actually pretty good. And it's like, no, you're not. No, you're not, man. No, you're not. You're awful. No, you're not, person. No, you're not, kid. No, you're not. And you're not. And you have to realize that. I mean, yes, sure, you're not Picasso, but hopefully that's something. Like a weird, like, oof, oof, yikes. I don't like her weird look. Thumb. Anyway, so yeah, because that's the thing. Everybody thinks they're good at it, and then they don't. They're not good at it. Because you'll have one of two things, and you'll feel both of these things as anybody who makes anything. I am Picasso. I'm the next George Lucas. I'm the next Steven Spielberg. I'm the next what are famous photographers? Whatever. I'm the next uh I don't know, big actors. Tom Hanks, Tom Cruise, Matthew McConaughey, that kind of thing, right? Whoever, right? But also, I'm also, but also, no, I'm the worst person in the world. I'm terrible, and my art looks, or my art, whatever you're making, looks like crap. Art, whatever you're making, you know, art, is crap, and it's the stupidest thing ever. And you'll feel both of those things, and you'll think, I want to take this and tear this and rip this in half. I want to do it really badly. I hate this so much, and then you're just like, whatever. And and as an artist, I don't think you should throw away any of your art, whether that's any music you've made that's going nowhere. I don't think you should get rid of it, delete it. I don't think you should get rid of any of your like paintings or artwork that you've done because I feel like you'd want to see that in the future and see where you progressed to. Ow, itchy, and it hurts and stuff. How am I supposed to do this? Mm, yeah, not the worst. It's all a rough estimation of what. Very hard picture. Anyway, so yeah, that's your thing. You're gonna steal both, because it's always that thing where it's like, oh, I'm fine at. Oh my god, how am I supposed to do this rough estimate? Jeez, Louise, holy moly! I'm sorry, I'm not explaining what I'm doing, but like, good lord, this is hard as frick. Nah, you know what? I will do that. Oh, I do. What's what it look like? No, scrap piece of paper. It's fine enough, but I'm not gonna use it. If I had a black pencil, I would use it, but I don't. I'm not going to. I'm just gonna use the graphite. So yeah, personally, opinion on art. I think it's one of those things where everybody thinks they can do it. Now they're not good at it, but they can do it. It's the it's that like level of, well, you have to get to the point where you're like, I'm not good at it, but I want to get good at it. Nope, nope, more like pointed. Eee, that's not good. These are sketches. I'm gonna have to probably do like 1,000 sketches to get her to get this person. Whatever. Fine. Whoopsies. God dang it! Just mouse pads. Terrible. Hello. So yeah, the same kind of design. Like what the heck? Basically on the side of her head. Dewey. That's not good. Anyway, yeah, and then it's all about doing. People just have told me multiple people, and I've heard that within multiple different things. Just do, whether that's sports, art, science. It doesn't matter. You have to. You have to like kind of get to the point where you realize, oh, okay, I have to do more. I have to do way more. I do. I have to do way more. I have to do just a way more, just because, like, I just have to do way more. She's smaller than the other eye, but okay. We'll take what we get. We'll take what I can produce right now. Anyway, and so for art, I feel like a lot of people don't do that. They just like, okay, well, or they do the opposite of that, and they like pull themselves out and go, they pull themselves out and go, well, well, and just go right like into the deep end, and then their art looks like crap, and they go, oh, I'm terrible at art. Like, no, you're not. Somebody once told me the reason he hates art, or no, what he hates is not art. It's not art that he hates. It's art books that he hates. He hates art books trying to sell you the idea that all you really need, look, man, just take take the drawing that you have, take the thing you see in front of you right now. Oh, wow, that's way too long. Nose. Anyway, take the drawing that you see in front of you and just reproduce it. It's not hard. Spatial awareness, perspective. What did the guy say? Angular motion? No, he said something about like, where is it? Aspect ratio, that kind of thing. But no, perspective. Yes, was one of them. But what was the other one? Wow, that's god awful. But I suck. What did he say? But she's no. That's also the other thing. Oh, the aspect ratio is gonna, no aspect ratio. What do you call it? Perspective is gonna be terrible. You know, no. What? She should be looking this way, and I'm like, oh gosh. Do I want to? Hmm. I could do the same thing, making her look this way. No, I mean, let's go for it. But yeah, it was yeah, like no, you're not gonna do that. It's terrible. You're not just gonna say. 'Cause I have that problem too. Every kid has that problem where they think to themselves, "No, they're at the same level, so that's wrong." Where they think to themselves, "Oh, I could just look at something and produce it. Not that hard. I know what the shape of a TV remote looks like. I know the shape of a pencil looks like. I know the shape of a anyway. Pick anything, right? Actually, no. You know what? I want to keep it like the way it was, but I want to keep the other one to be different. So yeah, I'm just like okay, which is fair. Everybody thinks that because all of their art books come off like that. Like, oh, all you got to do is get a very good um. Just look at it, whatever. It's like no, it's not. But another thing, the guy I was talking to on Reddit was talking to me about was like, just do. And then a lot of people say that, just do, just do, just do. I've heard that from multiple things, whether it's sports, art, science, whatever. Just do teaching, just do. And I'm like, yeah, it's fair. You only learn by doing, which is fair, 100% fair. I understand what you mean by that. What you mean by that is you have to do, as in you don't do. If you don't do, you're never going to learn how to do. A little bit lower than that. Close enough. Give it one of those like little cheek bumps, and come back down through the cheek bump, and come in and up. It's over. Close. Now I'll make a second one on both sides. Pretty terrible. Whoa, that's bad. Wow. God, it's horrible. I don't even want to be doing this right now because I'm so bad at it. Like, holy crap. I thought I would get a better. No. No. I realized. God, wow, that's horrible. Wow, that's bad. Although the first thing that I have is not bad. After the guy said, look, what you have so far is really good. And I went, thank you. Or, I went like, yeah, okay, good. Like, I thought that. But the problem is, I'm focusing on a part of the body. Sorry, because I'm drawing something where you'll never see this. You'll never see this. My problem with a lot of this is the perspectives of like, well, I don't want to ever. I don't want to. I like every artist does. Apparently, from what he said, he's like, all artists do this. All artists try and be and skirt around the things they are not good at, which is fair. Because why else? You wouldn't skirt around it if you were good at it. Maybe you're good at it, but you don't like it. Maybe I don't know. But like for me at least, it's very much a like. Here's my opinion on the matter. It's very much a I hate this or I hate that. Like the one bane of almost every artist's existence is at one point you're going to be terrible at hands and feet. Because now I have half a person, and I'm like, what? Use this again. Let's break it down into its most fundamental. Let's break it down into its most fundamental paces. The most fundamental things. Shape it out. Let's make it into shapes. Like a circle, torso. No, not even that. Just give me a whole bang torso. What's the? Well, actually, I don't know how shaping that would. The other one kind of comes out like kind of almost triangular. It's almost triangular. And I have no. No, well, you know what? I could leave it like that. But I'm not going to. I'm going to have to come in like with a. like so bad. Anyway, so yeah. What was I just talking about? What was I just talking about? How long have I been going for? 20 minutes? What was I just talking about? Like, oh god, like what was I just talking about? Anyway, what was it? I'm gonna go for 30 minutes, maybe an hour. I don't know. It's so yeah. I'm not saying I don't know. Where was the other one gonna go? No, well, actually, you know what? They actually come together, so it's not that bad. Nah, I don't know what I'm doing with perspective here. Might as well try and continue with the same one that I have. I'm already doing started. Well, I don't want to because I know for a fact I'm gonna end up with what the hell just happened? Did it all crash? Did all of the internet crash? It did, of course it did. The internet crash. Facebook account was deleted by the man. Like my problem is that this is a terrible picture. I also said to a lot of certain people, two or three different people, I was like, I may have chosen a really terrible picture for being the first thing I've ever like done a portrait of. So it's bad. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not saying nobody can become an artist, but art, a lot of art, is very you're either good at it or you're not. It's like languages. Some people can just pick up a language and learn it in 5 seconds. Other people can't. So therefore, you have. Oh wow. You have to like pull it out in like this. You're either like music. You're either good at music or you're not. There's no. Well, you know. Well, I'm kind of okay at music, and it's, no, you're either good at it or not. And you're either good at it because you learned for years and years, or you're good at it because you naturally have that like ability. You have a what's it called? Ooh, that's hot. You have what's it called? What's that? What's the word called? You have uh perfect pitch or something. Something of that effect. So really, really, let's be honest here. How many? Oh, how many people have it? Not very many. So therefore, you're not going to get to that point. But you probably got it because of years of practice. In my opinion, right? Right? You feel like at least in my opinion, you know, there's that like, what are they going to talk about? Innate ability to be really good at something? I don't know how to explain it. You either have it or you don't. Art is one of those things where, not that you can't be good at it, but there is that innate ability that you have to just be good too. I'm not saying you can't learn it, but art is less learned and more just. Also, art is less learned and more just look at what you're looking at, do your little like whatevers, be like, okay, what's this? What's that? How do I do this? You know, like one of those, like you have to be like. I'm not saying that there's like inherently you have to just be good at something, like just inherently good at it, or else, frig man, you're done. Like there's nothing you can do about it. No, but there is a bit of like a you have to have a natural talent a little because you can tell when someone's terrible at something. Forget, I'm not doing any more of this. I'm not even bother with this. And art is one of those things where no, you can learn. A lot of art is looking and saying, break it down far enough, and you'll be able to draw anything, anything. And I'm like, no, you won't. And that's what Scott Salva says all the time. Scott Salva pulls out this whole has said stuff like, you need to just do, and you need to draw everything, even if the first few like attempts of drawing everything suck so bad. You have to just draw everything. And I went, that's fair to be honest. That's a good way of putting it because you don't draw everything, you won't know how to draw everything. There should be a course called How to Draw Everything. I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is a course that's like How to Draw Everything. I'm sure there is. Because for me, my problem is I can draw certain things if I'm watching somebody draw it in front of me. Whether that's in person, on a video, doesn't matter. If somebody can draw it in front of me, I'm like, okay, great, I know how to follow that. Oh, I just saw how he did it, I'll do it the same way. Me, it's like, can't take this and go here. Like, I know how to draw this. So I should, in theory, be able to draw this, right? Yeah, no, in practice, forget it. It's not going to work the same way. You're like, what? Why? Because that's not how that works. That's not how my brain works. You think it's going to work that way, and you every single time you pull it out, you think it's that, but it never is. It never, ever is. Which is a sad, like, sad, bleak reality of art. Every artist has a point of time where they think they can just take everything from their brain and put it on a piece of paper, or on a canvas, or on a side of a building, or on a whatever. And then you just go, wow, no, I can't. Wow. I really can't. Holy crud. I wonder if I have peach in this color. That's what we consider skin color, peach. Not yellow, orange. Looking for peach. I don't think I do, eh? That's not peach. Looking for peach. Nope. I don't think I do. I mean, I don't need a set of these. I have enough for this, but this is the only one I did not buy a new set for. I bought crayons, markers, and this. I have skin color here. I have whatever this is. I might have to do like Scott Silva does and add a bunch of different colors together to see what I like. But yeah, it's very much a thing where. What was I just talking about? I can follow them, yeah. Getting onto my brain. No. No, no. Or on a piece of building, on a building, on the side of it. No, it's not me. That's not me. No, that's not me at all. Because like everybody at one point thinks that they can do that, and then they learn. Oh no, you can't. Oh, art is not just take medium and put it onto other medium, or onto like a piece of paper or whatever, or onto surface. No, not at all. It's fair. I I'm still in that area of my life where I'm like, oh no, 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 I can draw anything. Come on, man. And the intricacies of all this, I can draw that. No, you can't. Don't lie to yourself. No, you can't. No, you can't. You can't. Don't lie to yourself. No, you can't. And it's like, what do you mean lie to myself? I'm not lying to myself. I know I can. No, no, you can't. It's not like a science where, like music, where it's like you have to know notes. You have to know notes. You have to know how to place notes. You have to know, like, just because you can hear something does not mean that you know how to not draw, but how to make music. Like, not even close. And so, but art, you look at it and go, I have an eyeball. I can see it, right? Right? Where it's like, yeah, very much set up in like a, because art, you think, oh, I can see. I have a pencil. I know what I'm doing. And then you get to the point of like, no, you really, really can't. No, you really can't. No, you can't. You're not as good as you think you are. Not at all. Which is fair. I mean, I don't care. Which is fair. Like, you do come to the conclusion, like, oh, wow, no, you can't, and you suck. And you have to come to that conclusion to go from suck to, I made that. right? Where it's like, yeah, where it's like, oh wow, I suck. But to come from I suck to I suck to wow, I produced that. Like that's the thing. I say that to myself sometimes whenever I just hear myself back for something. I'm like, I said that. Wow. Okay. Or I'll just think back to something where I said, and I'm like, I said that. Whoa, that blew my mind. Well then, okay. Or I made that. Wow. Like yeah, personally, at least in my opinion, right? At least in my opinion, that's what I feel. It's like no, you suck. And you get to that point where you almost feel like you want to give up because you're like, I suck at everything. And then you come to the conclusion, I made that. Wow, that's amazing. That's fantastic. That is absolutely insane. I made that. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Yes. Yeah. Like that's my opinion on the matter. I don't think it's bad, but that's just art in general. So yeah, that's just art in general. So I might pull this video out to use as my next episode of a podcast. Maybe I don't know. I don't think so. Like my own episode of a podcast. But yeah, personally, I feel like definitely, definitely, you have the two juxtapositions. You think, oh, I'm Picasso, I'm Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael, or Michelangelo, or I'm the worst person ever. And you'll fall under both categories. And for a while, you'll think to yourself, wow, I'm shit. Wow, I'm terrible. Wow, this, wow, that. Wow, I'm awful. Wow, this is life sucks. I should just go die in a hole, right? Bury myself in a hole. Bury yourself alive in a hole, man. Die in a hole. And then you'll be like, wait a sec, I just made that? That's incredible. I did not make that. I did not just make that. I did not produce that. Like, you know what probably is going to be the biggest thing? Now, I'm not a female. So I don't know, right? The feeling, right? I don't know. I don't have that, like, that motherly instinct of, like, feeling that way. But I can probably, like, guess that, like, mothers must feel like must be the weirdest feeling for the mother to see their child and one day just realize, I made that. That came out of my body. What the heck? Right? You know? I'm not saying I don't know what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is I'm just saying you end up with that like I'm not a mother, but like that must be the best feeling in the world, like or the weirdest feeling in the world, or like you were in my body for 9 months. Now you're in the world? That's just weird. I wow, I never thought also it's probably one of those weird things too where you kinda go with that like wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, 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 wow. Like what was I gonna say? Following that like humans? I'm a mother? I never thought I'd be a mother, that kind of thing. I never thought I'd do this. I never thought I'd. I don't know what I thought I was gonna do. Is like think back to your like 5 or 6 year old. You know when the first time you were asked what do you want to be when you grow up, and every kid goes, I want to be a firefighter. I want to be a police officer. I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a scientist. I want to be a chef. I want to be a race car driver. I want to be a fighter pilot. I want to be in the army. I want to be in the navy. I want to be in the Marines. I want to be in this and that, right? All that stuff, right? The things you do as a kid, right? In my opinion, here's a good thing that I think you should do. I don't know what I said my opinion for, but what I think you should do is think about back to your like 5-year-old self and think two things. Go back to your like 13-year-olds or 16-year-old self, whatever. Pick an age and think, are they proud of you now? Would they be proud of you for what you're doing? And two, go back to like your 5-year-old self. The first time you heard that like question, and think to yourself, think this is what you would be doing? I never thought 360 video would be a thing that I would be so into as much as I am. Not even close. But what I can tell you is, I always liked a camera, but I was never a James Ralph or those kind of like directors who like do a whole pull out of like, oh, I'm gonna pull out my camera and use it like since I was like 5. Not really. But there was a certain level of like, I like photography and videography a lot. But would I be a photographer? Probably not. I'm not a photographer yet. But I'm just saying, like, would I buy a camera in my lifetime? No, probably not. Would I spend money on cameras in my lifetime? No, probably not. Now, there's some pictures that I pulled out from like the archives, and I realized, wow, some of these pictures are great. Some of these pictures are actually fantastic. And by fantastic, I mean like, this is actually really good. And then I'll pull out another one and be like, okay, this is crap. And then I look at some of the pictures my dad took. My dad really knew how to take pictures. Like he's got about, I don't know, let's say he's probably got about 10,000 pictures, right? Not even joking. He's probably got about 10,000 pictures, right? And maybe about 1,000 of those are like peak. You could be a professional photographer levels of like, this is amazing. And the rest are just like usable pictures. Like, oh, these are good, but they're not like the best. Like not the like absolute best, but also not terrible, right? So for me at least, I'm like, wow, my dad really knew what he was doing. Like it's one of those things where I saw a video, like a video or a short little video of it was like that moment when one of your two parents pulls some random fact out, like, oh yeah, I once was a. Why didn't you lead with that, man? What's going on? I've been alive for this much, and you've never told me this. What? That's what? What a freaking. It's like my friend, right? I was telling my mother that my friend used to perform or once performed in a jazz festival. Now he didn't perform in the paid stuff. He performed in one of those like free outdoor venues. But still, he played the trumpet. And my mother went, that guy, okay, that guy has like multiple lives that he's lived, and it's crazy. And I'm like, yeah, I know he had a band that he was doing it, a jazz band that he was like performing. I'm like, wow, okay, well then. Good gosh, man. Good golly, Miss Molly. Like, this guy. So, like, he's a quirky guy who's done a whole bunch of random stuff. Oh, I made whatever, I made this kind of weird food, like beef jerky or something. Or I just do this. Or, like, my pastor is one of those people where it's like, oh, yeah, at one point I had a business trying to do this. Or I gave the people this recipe and they made a business out of it. Like, what? Or I did this or I did that. It's like one of those mind-blowingly weird, like, people. And then I'm sitting here going, well, what have I done that's cool that I could tell someone? I used to be an actor. I did a few plays. I have them all on tape. Not all of them actually. I don't have the last one on tape on DVD. I have all the videos. What else have I done? I've traveled. I've traveled to the United States, but it's not like something crazy. Like I wasn't like a professional, or I wasn't a this, that, or the other thing, right? I know I can't be like, oh, this was a boxer at one point. No, I can't be that. But I know people who were not professional boxers per se. Actually, I don't know because I don't know if they were paid. Because I've learned that one of the definitions of professional is not just expert at something. It's one of them is just paid to do something. So if I'm paid to lick hard drives, you pay me to lick hard drives. Not one of those things where I'm really a this, but I do this on the side or something, or this is part of my job. No, to lick hard drives, then technically I'm a professional hard drive licker. If I'm a professional starer and I stare at this Zoom H1N and that's my job, then I could, and you pay me to stare at it. I'm a professional H1 Zoom H1N starer or starer in general, or like to sniff something, or to like put in my mouth, or whatever, pick something, right? In my opinion, pick something, and it's like that's what I've learned. I'm like, that's crazy. That is actually really crazy. So So yeah, in my opinion, at least, I feel like I'm gonna go till I got about 24 minutes. Yeah, left. I'll go for an hour and I'll be done. But yeah, in my opinion, so yeah, people like I've never done anything amazing. I can pull it out and be like, this is fantastic, fantastic. Like, oh, this is amazing, and it's like the best, and like I've done these cool things. No, although I've not done nothing. That's Don't get me wrong. I've not done nothing, but I definitely um have not done nearly as many cool things as some of the people I know, which is fair. It's fine. I don't need to be doing crazy things. I've got some funny stories of life, so it's not that bad. I can tell some funny stories. I can tell some anecdotes. I can tell some things that make my life interesting. But I'm not like that guy who's like, oh yeah, I did this. Oh yeah, I did this. So 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 yeah. So yeah, that's my opinion. Like, so I know people like that though. So photography. Would I think that I would have been doing anything with photography? No. Think I would have been doing anything with music? Heck no. Because as a kid, I didn't like music as a kid. I just kind of like listened to music here and there, and I was like, yeah, I listen to music and I'll hear it and I'll enjoy it. But I'm never like, oh, I want to listen to music until I was about like 13, maybe maybe even like 15, because like there was a whole point in my life where I just did not care about music. And so for me, I'm like, whatever. Look, I don't care. At least in my opinion, I was never a music guy, so I never thought music would be a thing that I would ever get into. But yeah, or videography in video production in any way. Like I'm editing videos. No, no, never, never. It was always the kind of thing where it's like I always thought that it was like a weird, baffling like what does this person do? How do you get to that point in your life? How does this become your job? How do you get this job? How do you get that job? How do you get you know this job or that job or this job or that job, or how do I become this guy or how do I become that guy? That kind of thing where it's like okay, and how do you become that guy is still up, in the air for some things. I'm like I don't know how I do that or this, but for some of them I'm like oh that's how you do it, or oh I've actually been that guy on my own personal YouTube channel for or this or that whatever, and I'm like oh I know what that guy does, okay, or I've seen videos by there's this guy who does all these like crop videos. I remember his name. I don't remember his name right now. Maybe it is also Scott. No, whatever. Mike or something. I don't know. Anyway, I don't. Um, not I don't, but I think so. Like, oh, that's how you become this, or that's what that guy does. Because you know what I'd love alongside how it's made. I'd love a show that goes what they do. What do they do? You have to spell it like what they do. So you do like you just make the name of the show what they do, and it's a discovery type show where, or a history channel type show where it's like, come out. It'll be on like a YouTube channel or maybe a streaming service of some kind, and just it'll be like a docu series where it's like a series of like a Netflix series or something. Excuse me, where you go to people's like jobs, and it's everybody from chefs to people who make stamps to, or or you either go with that and how they do it, or and you learn how they do what they do, or you go to the people that are like bus boy, or there's one in film that's like uh what is it? It's a really weird one. My dad always asks me, what do they do? And I have a book that explains the jobs. Now, it doesn't explain every job, but it explains basically like, ooh, one or two dozen people, one or two dozen of these jobs that you see at the end of a movie where it's like, that's not a director, producer, actor, or writer. Writer, director, producer, or actor. What's it called? Anyway, but like something like that, and they'll explain what it does. What is a, or like, what does a producer do? What does a editor do? What does your publisher do? Does he literally just get the book into physical print? That all they do? So they're like a printing press? No, that's your printing press. So what's your publisher do? So okay, like that's the kind of jobs where I'm like, what do you actually do? And then there's like how you do it. There's episodes where it'll be how you do it. Now, somebody take this and make it a reality, because please, I'd love to see that. I'd love to like keyboard manufacturer, right? I'd love to just go into someone's like. I'd love to go into some factory or some like um studio or some company and be like, well, Razer or whatever, whoever does keyboards or mice or whatever, right? And be like, yo, Corsair or whatever, right? Just be like, how do you? What is? I don't want to be the guy. I don't want to see this. I want to see this, or like the weird Chinese factories that make like like I'm looking at my computer and I'm looking at the bear, like the cast iron bear head that I have mounted on the front of it, and I'm just like, I'm gonna go to the Chinese factory and learn. Yeah, I know it's just a casted thing, but still, be like, how does it go from company wants or some guy wants this? You send or they send you the brand, the file, and you produce said thing. Like, I'd love to like see that. I'd love to see that, like, process. It's actually a really interesting thing to me. I'm very much amused by like, and like, oh wow, you know, like I'd love to see it. I would love to see it. I'd love to see what that actually looks like. Cause like, whoa, to me, it's like blows my mind as to how like, wow, okay, that okay, just like wow, okay. I'm not saying that'd be like the best show ever, but I'd watch it on like YouTube or something or on a streaming service. I would. I would. I'd watch it. Okay. You know what I was listening to? I was listening to something about Quibi. Cool. Okay. Anyway. I was listening to Quibi, right? I was listening to something called and I was thinking back to why Quibi failed, right? And I'm getting right, right. And so like for me at least, I was like, okay, yeah, I was thinking about Quibi and why Quibi failed. Quibi failed because what Quibi wanted to be was two things: 10-minute video, whatever, and only on your 10-minute videos and only on your phone. And I went, no, no, I'm sorry, no, I'm sorry. That's kind of terrible idea. That's a kind of terrible idea. And I'm not saying it's like the worst idea, but nobody wanted that. So I'm like, okay, well, I mean, I'm like, okay, I guess, whatever, right? And the other problem was wasn't even B tier. It was like honest. I'm not even joking. It was like C and D tier content that was just crap that nobody wanted to watch. And then and the stupid thing was it was like not sponsored, but like it was like invested by like a bunch of people like Disney and Universal and Sony, and they all like got into it. They were like, yeah, it's amazing. And then they just decided, yeah, no, you know what? Forget it. This or you know what? Or the thing just kind of died. Nobody wanted to watch it, and that's the problem because there's two things. stupid shows that were terrible, shows about robots and sex dolls and weird murders and like things I would never care about. Like I'm not watching a stupid show about this. This is dumb. But I didn't think it was worst. I would have tried it if I could have gotten like a free trial or something just to see, you know. But never, I never ended up. Wow. Anyway, that's the problem. So there's those kind of shows, or they were like rip-offs of some YouTube show like Slow-Mo Guys, where it's like or something that was done 10 years ago, destroying stuff and seeing, I'm just like, I heard that and I went, why? Nobody's gonna come to Quibi over, no one's gonna come to Quibi over like YouTube because they don't know Quibi exists, and if they do, they're like, I don't care because you promoted it like garbage, and you did promote it like garbage. Who wants to go on an app that you can only watch for 10 minutes a day? Not 10 minutes a day. You only watch 10-minute videos, and not only can you only watch 10-minute videos, your 10-minute videos are garbage, and aren't even like they're not even bad. They're like garbage. They're like C and D tier content. It's so bad. It's like what? It's like what? If you ever watched, okay, now not everything on there is terrible, but there's so much, especially in the documentary section. There's so many things, shows, movies, documentaries that are so terrible on Tubi TV. Although it's free, so therefore it's not that bad. But my point is, it's the stuff that even Tubi was like, I'm rejected. God dang, it's like they're like the wish of they're like the wish of streaming service. They were like the wish of streaming services. The dollar store didn't want them, so they said, "Oh, Wish can take them." The dollar store didn't want them. Like, oh my god, it was just so terrible. It was so terrible. I was just so like, what are you trying to do? The guy who ran it was weird. Didn't run. I don't know. Lots of weird things that the guy didn't know how to run the thing properly, and he ran it to the ground, and blah blah blah, yada yada yada. It's just not very good. I'm sorry, it's just not very good. And I'm not saying that it couldn't have been good. I'm just saying Tubi as a sorry, Quibi as a like thing. The problem with it was if you have Tubi, right? And Tubi's free, right? Why would I want Quibi ever? Why would I ever want Quibi? I have to pay for Quibi and it's 10-minute content and it's only on my phone. And then they like retracted that and went, oh, well, you know what? They retracted that and kind of went, oh, well, you can watch it on your TV too. Come on. It's an app. It's just an app. You can get it on your, smart devices. And then everyone went, great. I don't care. Why? Because you didn't promote yourself well at all. And now it's dead and you all suck. And we don't care about you. We just don't. And I'm not saying it couldn't be good. You just are so terrible. Right? I'm not saying it couldn't be good, but you just did not do a very good job of trying to make it good, so therefore Quibi just died. I didn't watch anything off of Quibi. I should have watched at least one thing just to see if it was good, but I just watched the trailers for things and I'm like, no, this is terrible. Because it does that thing where it's like, no. It does that thing where I've seen the trailer for this thing, I know I don't want to watch it. The same way, James Rolfe basically made the like point. He was like, nope, I'm good. I'm not watching the new Ghostbusters. I still haven't seen the new Ghostbusters, I don't think. But like, it's one of those movies where it's like, I'm not watching it. And everyone like got on him for like, oh, you're a sexist pig. Oh, you don't want to see it because they're women. Oh, you're an animal. You're an animal. You're terrible. You're sexist. It's because they're women. What's your problem? Douchebag. What's going on? You son of a bitch. Like all that kind of crap. And then I'm like, wait a sec. What is that the whole point of the? And then Pat Contry and Ian on Ian Ferguson. No, Ian Ferguson. Yeah. On their podcast on the not no Who Answer podcast had to make a whole video or a segment saying, no, that's the point of a trailer. It lets you understand. Oh, it lets you get an idea of I don't want to watch it or I want to watch it. You know? Oh God, it's so dumb. My best friend said that to me at the time. He was like, "It's because they're women. You're sexist." I went, "Excuse me, no, I think it's terrible. I hate Melissa McCarthy and that black woman from SNL and what's the woman who plays Hillary Clinton in SNL. No, you suck. I don't like any of you. You're not funny." And he loved them all. He loved all of them, all four of them. And I went, "Well, have fun watching them." And he's a big Ghostbusters guy, so he was like, "New Ghostbusters, of course I want to see it." Saw it and kind of had this attitude where he was kind of like, "You were kind of right in the sense that it's not one or the first or the second Ghostbusters, but also it's not nothing. It's not that bad." And I went, see. I think I asked him though, "Is it a good movie to watch? Should I watch it one day?" And he's like, "Yeah, I recommend it." I think he said he gave it like a 6 or 7 or something. He was just like, "It's okay. It's not the greatest. I don't think it's amazing. It's not 1 or 2, but it's not awful." It's like watching Jurassic World. Every subsequent Jurassic World movie after the first one got, honestly, it went weird. Okay, okay, Jurassic World, the first Jurassic World movies were like, "Oh, this is kind of terrible." Second one was like, not horrible, kind of stagnant, not really terrible. This is Time. Sorry. How do I do it the other way? Yeah, this is Time. Okay. This is no, sorry, other way. Other way. Go. Yeah, this way. No, this is Time. This is Time. This is this is this is terrible. Like how bad it is, and it kind of like stagnated as like, okay, it's not that bad. Or like it's just kind of like sat in like this. Kind of terrible. Second one, like, oh my god, this is awful. The third one went a little bit better. I think the third one is the best of the three, but it's still not good. It's like the Star Wars movies. None of those sequel Star Wars movies were like that amazing. Although some were terrible. Like Force Awakens was okay. Last Jedi was pretty awful. Whatever the third one was, there's 5, right? Whatever the third one was wasn't good. Rogue One was just kind of eh, and the fourth was just kind of like, or the fourth one or whatever it was, though, is like just not good. I watched the fourth one and in theaters, and just kind of like my brother turns to me because we're watching it together. My brother loves Star Wars, right? He watched every Star Wars movie ever. He's like absorbed. He's consumed all the content ever. And I just kind of had this attitude like, because I had this like idea like I felt like my idea my opinion on it was just like he turned to me and goes, "So?" I went, "It's okay." He goes, "It's okay." And then I asked him all a bunch of questions. Why is this? Why is that? Who is this? Who's that? Why this? Why that? And I went, "What?" So wait a sec. Spoiler alert, right? Spoiler alert. Freaking Ray Skywalker. Well, Ray is technically a Palpatine or whatever. Palpatine's like daughter or something, granddaughter. Like what? Why? Then she goes, "No, I'm a Skywalker." And I'm trying to think, like, are you actually Skywalker? Is he real? Is he? Are you right and he's wrong? I'm so confused. Because it was terribly, like, not. Anyway, I gotta go because I'm gonna be here for the rest of my life if I don't go. But I'm just saying, like, Quibi was terrible. Art is about doing, not about learning. Get to the point where you actually do it. And movies, the trailer is the point as to trailer is not the thing that gives you a sneak peek of what you're going to watch. The trailer is supposed to tell you what you want, whether you want to watch it or not. Pat Contra had to come out and say, "No, the point of this, stop attacking James Ralph." He literally made a video saying, "I'm not going to see it because I think it's a terrible trailer, and it makes the thing look terrible." No, I'm not going to watch it ever unless somebody forces me to watch it, and I'm like, or some girl's like, "We have to watch it because I will love you for it." I'm like, fine. or does that thing where it's like I've never, because that's the thing. Doesn't matter what. Okay, if you're talking about movies with a girl, the one thing to know if they like is there's two different things before I leave. There's two things. There's two ways that someone will answer you if you say, and it doesn't matter if you've seen it or not. You have to say, "I've never seen it." You have to lie to them because you want to know what the answer will be. You go, "Oh, I've never seen it," and you have to play along while you're watching it, even if it's a movie you've seen a million times. You have to play along anyway, or you've only seen once. But you have to lie and say, "I've never seen it." There's two different answers to that. There's "you should watch it," or there's "we should watch it." We should watch it. Oh, we should watch it together. That'd be great. We should watch it. Get the "we should watch it." She likes you more than you think, or more than just the person who's like, "Oh, you should watch it. It's amazing. It's amazing." You know, because the girl, you have to, because the girl. I watched Monty Python and Holy Grail with a girl I liked at one point. Although there was five other people. There was one, two, three, five. Yeah, five other people maybe. Other males, four or five of the males. It wasn't like an alone thing, but still, it was like this. We should watch it together. It was amazing. I like. Oh well, also she loves it. She's a kind of like quotable thing too, where it's like whatever. Anyway, I was watching the Fred movies. I was watching the review of the Fred movies by what's Microwave Productions. Microwave Society. Sorry, Microwave Society. And they did a thing where it's like in one of the movies where it's like that's a it was like a something attacking our dog, I think, attacking somebody, and it was like, oh, that's a Monty Python reference. It's like, I've never seen Monty Python, but I know that. I don't like, yeah, because Monty Python is somehow the first like thing that was like funny and dry humor out of Britain, or no, it was the first like funny thing. It was dry humor that Americans were watching, and it was like the first like funny thing that came out of Britain, and so um for and so that's why it's like a weirdly cultish like thing. It's like, oh my god, it's amazing, and like yes, don't get me wrong, Monty Python and the Holy Grail is amazing. It's my second favorite movie, and Life of Brian is amazing. And then this one is The Meaning of Life. They only made three movies and two TV shows, or one TV show. Monty Python Flying Circus, and no, I think it's one. Anyway, for some strange reason, it's like the most like loved thing, and it's like, oh yeah, 'cause that's why. It's like, what? I don't know. It's just overly done. Everybody loves it. It's amazing. It's so fantastic. It's so good. And I'm like to her, it's great. Don't get me wrong. But good lord, lady. Good gosh, lady. Sweet mother molasses. Stop quoting it 24/7. After that day, she quoted it for like a week. And she was a junior counselor at that time. I think a junior. Or a co-counselor. And her senior counselor or her other counselor was like, you better not be quoting that for the rest of existence. And she just like looked at her like, got no promises. I make no promises. I make no promises. And she looked back at her like, yeah, I make no promises. And she looked back at her like not that way, but like, but yeah. And she quoted it for like the rest of existence. I love that movie with a passion. I have a shirt that says, "Tis but a scratch." So, with the Black Knight, his arm on the ground and blood spewing out of his shoulder. So, what? How dark is it? Not too dark. So I can go outside. Okay, so thanks for it for now, guys. So, adios, mi amigos. The other thing is, live your dreams. Before I go, leave your dreams. You might die tomorrow. Live your dreams. The world might end tomorrow. Also, I got a good question for you if you want to like ponder on this question. I've thought about it myself. You had a certain amount of time to live. I'm gonna give 1 day to live. You have 1 day left to live. What would you do? What would you do with it? I'll give you my answer and I'll leave. My answer would be go find someone and tell them I love them. Just be like, I love you, girl, and I'm gonna die tomorrow. Now that depends. Is the world gonna end tomorrow, or am I gonna die tomorrow? Those are two different things. If the world was gonna end tomorrow, I just make out with them. I'd be like, I don't care. The world's gonna end tomorrow. I've been told, decree from God. World's gonna end. That's it. That's all. Bam. I would just make out with her. Like that's just it. If it's not, I would just say I love you, and just like tell her my feelings and be like, I'm gonna die tomorrow. I needed to tell you this, or else, whatever. So ponder on that one if you want to post that in the comments of this video once it's up on YouTube. So, tell me what you would do if you were gonna die tomorrow, or if two things. There's two different questions there: die tomorrow, and the world's gonna end tomorrow. Bye bye.